welcome to my Q&A video. I'm so sorry, I have been meaning to do this for literally over 6 months now, but I'm finally getting around to it. I basically asked for questions that long ago and also yesterday, so I have a nice collection of questions in my notepad that I'll be answering. Thank you so much to everyone that asked me a question to make this video happen, and I'm really excited to make this video and share my answers with you. The first question is, how old are you? So I'm 25 and it's really easy to remember my age because it just changes with the year. Basically, I was born in 2000 in January, so in 2025 I'm 25, in 2026 I'm 26, and so on. So yeah, I will never forget my age. It was so lovely because so many people asked me just how I am, and I just thought that was so sweet. And I'm really good. I'm definitely, I think, in the happiest part of my life so far, which is really, really lovely. This year has been a really lovely healing year so far. So yeah, overall, I'm really good. However, I do have some things that have been getting me down physically and mentally, which brings me on to the next question of what have you been struggling with recently? So overall, I've been really good and really happy. However, I have been struggling a little bit physically. Basically, I broke my arm, my elbow, 3 years ago, over 3 years ago now, and I'm still really struggling with it. And I think I've finally got the answer, and I think it's finally going to get better. I really, really, really hope so. But it has stopped me from doing so many things, like playing the guitar and just lifting things. But yeah, it just really gets me down sometimes. Sometimes I'm in so much agony that I cry and I just have to lay flat on the floor because that is the comfiest possible thing that I can do, and it's still so uncomfy. However, yeah, I think we're getting to the bottom of it, and it's like a trapped nerve in my neck, the trapped ulnar nerve, which runs down my arm, and it really affects my hand and my forearm particularly. But yeah, hopefully we're getting to the bottom of it. And secondly, I think I may have broken my foot a week ago because I haven't been able to walk for a week. So yeah, that's been getting me down a little bit, and it just shows you how much you use your legs and how much you need to walk, because I've not been getting much done. I've been making like all my teas for the day in one go, so I don't have to get up. My dogs are really upset with me. They just don't understand that I've not been able to take them for walks. So I've literally been throwing toys and balls for them all day, every day. So yeah, I wish I could explain to them what's going on, but I know you're probably wondering how I did it. So I'm not 100% sure it's broken, but it kind of feels like fracture-y. So basically, I went for the first run in 6 months. I'm not really a runner, but I go through phases. I've just done short runs. It was literally nearly 4K, and I wore barefoot shoes for the first time. And apparently it's actually pretty common to fracture the top of your foot when you run in barefoot shoes for the first time. So that may have been it. Also, I didn't think it would be an issue because I've literally only worn barefoot shoes for the last few years, but I don't know, who knows. All I know right now is that my foot is really telling me to rest, so that is what I'm doing. The next question is, what makes you happy? Which is another lovely question. These are all lovely questions. The thing that makes me happiest is nature. As you can see, I'm surrounded by it and always try to surround myself with it. It just brings me so much joy, especially when I slow down and really notice everything. I have been noticing so many bugs this year in England, so many teeny tiny ones as well. And yeah, just being slow in nature brings me the most joy out of everything. But I also love being creative, I love reading, I love making videos, I love cooking and eating. Pretty much all of the beautiful things in life make me happy. Nature is the top, and also community, music, creativity, art. I love so many things. the clouds, the flies, the birds. I love animals so much. Wearing dresses makes me really happy. Looking after myself makes me really happy. Did you have any resolutions this year? What are they, and are you sticking to them? So the answer is no. The answer is yes, I did have a resolution, and no, I am not sticking to it, and it seems like the most simple resolution ever, something that every single person in the world needs to do, but I have not been doing it. So my one resolution was to have at least 20 minutes a day in complete silence, doing completely nothing, not listening to music, not watching anything, not even looking outside, just 20 minutes laying down with my eyes closed, just being still and being me, which I do every night when I'm trying to fall asleep, but that doesn't count. I just mean in the day, actually taking a break from absolutely everything, because I just don't do that. Sometimes I'm doing nothing and drinking tea, or I'm doing nothing and listening to music, but that is not doing nothing. And the only times that I have done nothing, I felt like I could fall asleep, and that is something that I never thought I could do, was napping, but I've kind of never even allowed myself to get to that. So yeah, I have not stuck to it at all, but I'm going to try and stick to it again. It's halfway through the year now, so this can be my 6 months resolution. I need to start this again, because it is just so important to allow our bodies and minds to completely rest. And also in these times with pure silence, you get some great ideas and songs and beautiful things coming through, and also negative things that you need to work with and heal. So yeah, I recommend everyone do that. Please let me know if you do that, but I feel like the majority of people these days don't do that. What are your plans for the next couple of years and dreams for the future? So my goal and dream is just to be happy and surrounded with community, and also healthy, of course, as well. I am really looking forward to next year. We will be running retreats, and I'll be creating and cooking and really feeling like I'm living my purpose. So I'm really excited for next year. However, I'm really enjoying living in the moment and just focusing on the things that I need to heal and work on. Something that I really want to work on is music. So as you may know, I started singing and playing the guitar, which is something I have never done and never thought I would do, but just randomly started learning and teaching myself both together. But because of my arm, I've stopped doing that, and I'm just really hoping to get back into that. I'd love to create some of my own songs and record some music as well. That would make me so happy. I'm really hoping for that in the next 2 years. I'm really also hoping to be more self-sustainable. That is the aim in Costa Rica, and I have planted so much stuff out there, but I'm not out there. However, I do have a friend and friends looking after it, so yeah, I'm really hoping that that can sustain me one day in the hopefully near future. What are your tips for balancing intentional living with the hectic world and social media, etc.? So I think this is a really important question, and one that I have been thinking of so much recently with everything that's going on in the world. Sometimes I have the habit of absorbing and reading way too much news, and it is so not good for me, and I think it's too much for a lot of us to handle. We are not made to know what is going on in the whole world at all times, you know. Being connected is such a blessing, and being able to share ways that we can help is very important. However, it is so important not to let it take your happiness and your own life away. We need to work and function and be healthy and happy, as well as really hoping for peace and a better future. So yeah, I was also sharing some bad news and stuff on my page. However, I've decided that I'm only going to share things that people can do, like petitions or donations, or like things that people can do in their everyday lives, rather than just sharing the bad news, because if you're like me, it just affects me so much. And I literally had 2 weeks a few weeks ago where I was just really low. I was crying every day and just so depressed because of the state of the world. However, yeah, I just don't think it's natural to know as much as we do. And it's also important not to be ignorant, but just take in as much as you can handle and do what you can. Pray, donate, share positive things. I also love reading and sharing positive news because I think that is also really important. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Social media is such a beautiful place, but also such a horrible place, and you just need to find the right side of it, find the side of it that works for you. I feel like everyone I follow shares such positivity and beautiful living, and I've also had to hide and mute a few things just to keep me sane. It's all about balance. I hope that helps. The next question is, how do you organise your days and do you stick to a strict routine? And I write a list every morning of all the things that I need to do, and also all of the self-care things that I want to do, so I can tick the self-care things off while also the worky things off as well, because both are just as productive as each other. But no, I don't really have that much of a routine or structure. I have my morning routine, which is pretty structured. I get up, I stretch, I read, I drink tea, I journal, and then I get on with my day from like 9 to 5, get all the bits that I need to do done, and then I have my evening routine. But nothing is that structured. I'm very go with the flow person, but also if I haven't written a list, I don't get anything done. I've got a green tea. Green tea is actually my favourite tea. The next question is, how did you earn a living before your social media got big? And I'm not sure what people think I earn, but I do not earn much from social media at all. However, I do earn something which I'm also really proud of, I'm really happy with, and it is increasing slowly but surely, which I'm really happy about because it is a lovely, freeing job that you can kind of travel with and work from home and kind of do your thing, and you can kind of share everything that you love and the right people will come along. However, I'm scraping by right now, if I'm being honest. So I do social media. I also sell handmade and pre-loved things on Vinted and Depop. I design websites. I do this now, and I also did this before. But before, I was a photographer, videographer, website designer. I also worked on Depop full-time for a little while. I bought and sold vintage clothes. I also made jewellery, I made art, and I've kind of worked for myself for a very long time. But before that, I worked for a fashion company, which was really horrible, to be honest. I had a really not very nice boss, and there was just 2 of us working for her, and it was quite a big business. So I was the photographer, model, website person, merchandiser. I kind of did everything. And when the manager quit, I was the manager, and then I quit because I just couldn't cope with it anymore. Like, this woman was so horrible to her very young children when she was there. Like, she'd pick them up from school and she would treat them so horribly. So just one day I just walked out. And then even before that, I worked in 3 different kind of cafe bars. I worked behind the bar for like, I don't know, I feel like it was 5 or 6 years. I loved that. It made me much more confident person. I'm still not a very confident person, but I don't really know what I would have done without that job. I also worked in like a deli, and I made the salads and the food and hummus and stuff, and I worked in a cafe as a waitress, and I didn't really like being a waitress because I was like, I'm not the steadiest of people, and I was always so anxious every time I was carrying a tray full of stuff that I was gonna like drop it or something. So yeah, my favorite was working behind a bar out of those. Excuse the sound of the airplane or helicopter, I'm not sure which one it was. There is a helicopter flying over every single day at the moment, which I'm not sure why. In 5 years, I probably see myself beginning to have children. Yeah, I just want to be happy, healthy, and surrounded by people I love. I would love to have friends and family living around me and really close to me. I see myself more so in Costa Rica, but also in England as well, because I love them both so much. I hope that I am making more music. I hope that I am being super creative, and I really hope that I am as self-sustainable as possible as well. But yeah, I just want to be happy and healthy and surrounded by people I love. So I feel like I've already answered this one. Do you still sing and play guitar? So because I started both at the same time, I don't really do them separately, you know? So I haven't been able to play the guitar for quite a long time because of how it like really hurts my nerve issue. So yeah, it's been really sad, and I don't really sing without the guitar. Like, they come really hand in hand for me just because I started them both on the exact same day. However, I'm really want to get back into it. What is your sole purpose? So my sole purpose, this is a beautiful but quite difficult question. However, I think my answer is quite simple. My sole purpose is to be connected to nature and myself, and kind of share that with others, and share how to do that with others, and share how to reconnect to ourselves and the land. And I think that is my sole purpose. And also growing food, because this year I have been growing more food than I have ever grown, and I've really felt like that is my purpose. Yeah. So I've got a few travel questions, so I'm going to answer those now. First of all, have you been to Australia? Yes, I have. I went to Sydney when I was 16 with my mum and her partner, and it was so beautiful. I loved it there so much. It was actually winter there, but it was still super lovely and warm. And we were staying just down the road from Bondi Beach, and I went surfing for the first time, and yeah, it was a really special trip. I also went to some like vegan picnic events there. I felt like I had a lot of freedom, and it was really beautiful. It is such a huge country, and I would love to experience more of it. Have you been to Mexico? No, I haven't been to Mexico, but it is one of the top of my list to travel to next. The next question is, what made you want to start traveling? So I don't think anything other than just curiosity made me want to start traveling. However, I was just curious and super excited by different cultures and cuisines and places and terrains. I'm really grateful that I have been able to travel, and yeah, I just want to keep traveling. I do feel more rooted now than I ever have, both in Costa Rica and in England. I'm not as in a rush to travel as I was before. The next question is, what is your favorite country you have been to? So this is also a really tricky question. I don't think I have an answer for it, because every time I think of somewhere I've travelled, I think, oh my god, I just love that country. Like, that country was one of my favourites. But actually, I think every country that I've been to has been my favourite. There is only one place that I really disliked, and that was Iquitos in Peru, the actual city. I have never felt so unsafe as how I felt there. I just couldn't even leave the hotel and stand on the pavement outside the hotel without getting so many people come up to me. So that is my least favourite place that I've been, but Peru is also like one of the countries that I've been to the most. I definitely prefer it out of the cities and more in the mountains. I just love every country that I've been to for so many different reasons. Yeah, sorry, I can't answer that one for you. The last travel question is, where do I want to travel next? So I want to travel to so many places. I would really love to go to Nepal or Mexico next. I'd also really love to go to Japan. My uncle actually lives in Japan. So yeah, that's a really hard question, but there are so many places that I want to go, and I'll just be so happy with wherever I get to explore next. But I think Nepal, going to the Himalayas, is definitely very close to the top of my list, and also Mexico too. So I just have two kind of house related questions, and one of them is, what's your interior design inspo? And I don't really find my inspo anywhere other than within myself. I just kind of get things that I gravitate towards, things that I like, which is a whole load of random things and random colours and random styles, but I love that. I feel like it's quite eclectic. I like having different things from all over the world in my home. I love a natural look, but I also love colour. So yeah, I don't really have a style. I feel like I love Moroccan and Indian style, but yeah, I don't really get my inspo anywhere. I could have so many different style houses and rooms. I just love so many different things. And the next one is, where do I source my home things from? Pretty much everything is from Facebook Marketplace or charity shop, pretty much all secondhand. I love it that way. Yeah, that's the answer. So the next group of questions I've put as skin, hair, fashion questions. I'm actually going to separate this video into two videos and answer the Costa Rica, the nature and the health, food and herbs section into the next video, but I will answer these last questions from this theme first. What is your skincare routine? So I have a recent video what my skin eats in a day, which is pretty much my skincare routine all the time. My skincare routine is very, very simple, very natural, like don't need to overcomplicate it. I just rinse it with water or with a teeny tiny bit of natural soap, and then I put on a very thick oily moisturizer or oil, and in the day I put on sun cream. And yeah, I use different essential oils sometimes, but you can see that in that video. Do you wear sun cream? If so, what one do you use? So I will link the one that I use down below. I have been searching for the best natural sun cream for ages, and I actually got this one in Peru. However, I think you can kind of buy it anywhere because I have since ordered so many online. It is the brand Badger, and it's the kids sun cream. I don't know if they do an adults one, I didn't even look, but the one that I got in Peru was the kids one. Oh my gosh, it's amazing, completely natural, smells absolutely divine. It smells like oranges and vanilla. It's factor 30, so for olive skin like mine, I think that is fine. Like, I don't really burn, but I still want to use sun protection. However, if you've got fairer skin, maybe you'd want something a little higher. I don't know, maybe they do that, I also don't know. I just keep getting this kids 30 one, but it's so good, so I will link that down below. And it's taken me so long to find one, and it also doesn't make your skin white. I've got it on right now. It has clear zinc in instead of white zinc. Do you dye your hair? No, I don't. This is my complete natural coloured hair. I love the colour of my natural hair so much, finally. So when I was a child, I had quite light blonde hair, and then as I got older, it got darker and darker, and I really didn't like it. So I started, when I did modeling, I started to bleach it, and like looking back, it really didn't suit me, but I was like so scared of my hair getting darker. But I actually love the color of my hair now, finally. Like, it's taken me so long to love it, but yeah, I don't know what color it is. Like, it's like blonde brown, slightly strawberry, but yeah, I'm really happy with it, and it feels so healthy now that I don't dye it, because it felt so healthy before. I dyed it way too much in a short period of time, and I did some like photo shoots for hairdressers and they absolutely destroyed it. So I'm really happy to have my natural hair back. Next, do you cut your hair? So my mum actually cuts my hair, and she's been cutting it like once a year, although she says to cut it more. So she cut it at Christmas, and she actually cut it for me 2 or 3 days ago. So it's looking nice and healthy now. So yeah, she taught me how to cut it as well. So I'm going to start cutting it myself, maybe every like 4 or so months. Just chop the ends off, give it a little refresh, because it definitely does feel good once it's cut, and it definitely looks nice and healthy too. I've got an ant biting me, I think. Next question is, how would you describe your style? I only wear clothes that are really comfy, and like this, it looks beautiful, and it's also like the comfiest thing ever. So I don't know, comfy, flowy, fairy. I love dresses because they're just the comfiest thing ever. I can't wear anything tight fitting really, especially on my legs or around my waist. I can wear like tighter tops, like this has slightly tighter top, but a really flowy skirt. And basically my style is like wearing clothes that make me feel as naked as possible, because I actually don't really like wearing clothes. Like when I'm just around the house, I literally wear like a sarong, like a scarf just wrapped around me, because I just do not really like wearing clothes, to be honest with you. But when I do, I love colourful clothes as well, but comfy and flowy. And I kind of always look a little bit dressed up, even when I go for walks, but it's just because I love pretty flowy dresses. Do you prefer gold or silver? I actually like both the same. I have always been a silver girl. However, at the moment, I'm definitely more of a gold girly. Like now I've got my gold jewelry on. I'm not sure which one suits me better. I think maybe gold actually suits me more because of my skin and my hair color. But yeah, I love both. The last question is, have you ever had acne? And no, I haven't. I feel very blessed to not have struggled with acne. It seems like a really difficult thing to have to deal with, and I really do empathize with anyone that struggles with that or has struggled with that in the past. I've been very lucky with my skin pretty much my whole life, but I also have pretty much always led a very healthy lifestyle, and I think I've eaten healthier than most people, so that could have something to do with it. Sometimes I get some spots like here and here, and I am a real bad picker. Like when I get a spot, I'm like, yes, I've got a spot, and then I like squeeze it and pick it and poke it like when it's so not ready. And then yeah, I don't know if you can see right now, but I've been making this bit bleed because I've just been picking it so much. So that is a habit that I really need to stop, but I also really enjoy doing it. I just find it so satisfying, but it is not good for me. Also, there's one on my chin that I picked and is like scabbed. But yeah, I'm very lucky with my skin, and I also think it is luck, but I've also treated it really well and worn natural skincare and eaten pretty well. Thank you so much for watching this half of the Q&A. Come back to the next video to listen to even more answers, and I'm going to answer questions about Costa Rica, nature and health, food, herbs. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!